Hey everyone, it's the one and only Grandma Linda with my debut to YouTube. For my first video, I'm going to be doing a Draw My Life, so let's get started. I was born on December 31st, 1951 at 11:03 p.m. A New Year's Eve baby! What a way to end the year and start a new one. I was able to be claimed on income tax for that year. Everyone has birthday and Christmas presents, but mine were combined. I felt gypped with combining my birthday with Christmas. Phooey, what a load of crap. I'm the youngest of 4 kids, and my oldest sibling is 18 years my senior. It's my sister. Her name is Phyllis, and she was born in 1933. And my next sister, her name is Marva, and she was born 4 years later, which would be 1937. And then I've got a brother, and his name is Larry, and he was born in 1946. No, I'm sorry, 1944. I'm getting my years mixed up here. That's what happens when you get old. You forget, and you forgive.
That's good.
And that's my brother Larry. And then it comes to me. My name is, as you know, Grandma Linda, and I was born, like I said before, 1951, and I am the ripe old age of 67 years young. One struggle in my younger life was that my only brother had polio. This affected his ability to walk. So when I was learning to walk, he was too. To this day, he hasn't fully recovered, but it isn't as bad as it was. Polio was a terrible, terrible disease, and I know it was hard on my whole family, my mom especially. She would have to take care of him, and he would be in the hospital, and it was hard on the whole family. We recognize National Polio Awareness Day, October 24th. From the beginning of my education, I didn't like school. I remember in kindergarten, my mom would walk me to school, and when she would turn around and walk back home, I was such a little poop head that I would hide behind the bushes and follow her, and I would jump from one bush to another and she'd get almost home, and I would jump out from behind the bush, and she would turn around and see me, and she would be so disgusted with me that I did that, and then it was too late to turn around and go back to kindergarten, so I got to stay home. My mom never learned how to drive. So we would rely on my dad for transportation. And what he drove was a 1951 Chevy pickup. Oddly enough, that was the same year that I was born, so there you go. We did everything in 1951. So we would rely on him, and he would take us like to the grocery store, to get gas, everything like that. My dad died when I was 16, a sophomore in high school. I remember when that was. I think about that quite often because the night before he died, I was walking down the street with my girlfriend. We were going to the ice cream stand, and my dad drove by, and he honked and waved, and I just turned my head and stuck my nose up like a 16-year-old little brat. And that was the last time I saw him alive because he died of a heart attack the very next morning. For entertainment, my mom and I would slowly drive by the jail and wave at the inmates while they were outside. They were playing basketball and all kinds of sports on the outside. Of course, there was a fence with barbed wire on the top that was separating us, thank goodness. And we drove this little dirt road, and when they would start screaming at us, we would kind of holler back at them because we knew that we were safe. They couldn't get to us. Once again, thank goodness. And we would say, "See ya in 10 to 20. And then we would just peel out, and my mom would just laugh. She would laugh. She got such a kick out of that. And that's pretty sick when you take your mother by the jail. I graduated in May of 1970, and I graduated from Omaha North High School. Our colors were blue and gold, and I remember that day. It was such a wonderful day and quite an achievement. And I got married that year on my birthday. And the only good thing that came from that marriage was my two precious daughters. My oldest daughter is Kim, and my youngest daughter is Lynette. Such blessings. The marriage only lasted 11 years, and shortly after the divorce, I found the love of my life. I met Fred at a grocery store, and we hit it off right away. We were both shopping at the time, so of course it was just like on TV. I'd go one way with my basket, and he'd go the other way with his basket, and then pretty soon we'd bump into baskets, whatever. Back in the day, we didn't have social media or texting, so we communicated on the CB radio. His handle was Long Drive, and mine was Honeybee. Mine later changed to the One and Only. And we would talk and talk on the CB radio and got to know each other even better. And things just kind of worked out, and it was so much better and so much more love between the two of us than we had in the past. We got married May 25th, 1984. It was the second and last marriage for both of us. The wedding ring was a very pretty, simple ring, but meant so much to myself and to Fred, my new husband. I still have the wedding rings, and I cherish them forever. Throughout our marriage, Fred was a romantic. He wrote poems to me and would always get anniversary and birthday cards that were heartfelt and meaningful. And on our 25th anniversary, he gave me a very loving card, and he wrote a little something on a separate sheet of paper that I've kept and will always keep. And he said, "Linda, congratulations on our 25 years together as friends, lovers, and husband and wife. We have been through heaven and hell together and back again. But every step of the way was worth it. Having you by my side, should I have another 25 years, I would love it. Be you who shares the tears and laughter of being together as friends, lovers, and husband and wife. I'm devoted to you forever and ever, and I love you for most of eternity. Thank you for being my wife. Love always, your friend, partner, lover, and husband, Fred. Have a happy anniversary." So we wouldn't have an empty nest. Fred brought home 2 puppies, Fritzy and Unique. They were a combination of Black Lab and German wire-haired pointer, and he brought those home from a guy that he worked with, and the guy was just going to get rid of the puppies or do whatever, and Fred said, "Oh no, I'm gonna take those home." So he brought the puppies home, put them in the garage, put them in a little box, and he came in the house, and I was getting ready to go to work, and he was just coming home from work, and he said, "I have a couple bookends out in the garage. I want you to come and see them." And I said, "Bookends? What are you talking about? I've got to get to work." And he said, "Just come on, I just want to take you out to the garage." So I did, and he showed me those 2 little puppies, and he just loved those puppies to death. And they were our love and joy. We love to spend time with our grandkids, especially after we retired. Got my husband Fred and myself, and we have 4 grandchildren. The oldest is Courtney, and she lives in Missouri, and she's 29 years old. And then we've got Nicholas, and he is 21 years old, and he's in college, and he has moved into an apartment and living on his own. And then we have Jordan, and she will be 18 years old in just a few days, and she's going off to college. And then we have Jaden. He's 15, and he is the big football player, and we just love to spend time with all of those grandkids that we have. October 11th, 2015, Fred died of a heart attack. We had been married for 31 years. Fred was the last of his siblings to pass away. He had 13 siblings. September 2016, my youngest daughter and her two of her 3 kids moved in with me because I didn't want to be alone. We then got a boxer named Rocky in November of 2016. I really didn't know if I wanted to do another dog after we already had Fritzy and Unique several years ago, but Lynette and the 2 kids went to the Humane Society just to look at the different pets and the animals, and sure enough, they came home and they had a little boxer, and his name is Rocky. And when I saw him, I said, oh my gosh, I don't know if this is gonna work. I don't know. He's not going to like me. I'm not going to be able to take care of a dog. I don't know what I'm going to do. And to this day, I mean, he's 4 years old, and he is just the best dog you could ever imagine. He fits in with the family. He's just another family member. He's it. Currently, I am known as Mom, Grandma, and Gigi for Great Grandma. I hope you enjoyed getting to know my life because there's so much more to live.
Deuces.